All right, good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? Welcome. Oh, that's great. I like to hear applause in the morning on day 3. It is day 3 of Affiliate Summit, and we have a great keynote for you this morning, but I just want to give you a few announcements before we get to him. So there is free Wi-Fi, so if you didn't see this yesterday, a Wi-Fi network is Affiliate Summit, and you can get in with the password ASE11. Now, the Wi-Fi is in here in the keynotes, in the breakout sessions, and the dining and networking area. You can follow us on Twitter at Affiliate Summit, and you can use the hashtag ASE11, and you get all kinds of information, news about what's going on, where people are hanging out. It's a great way to stay up to date. Now, we've been doing a checkout thing here, a check-in thing here with Foursquare and Gowalla, and we are proud to say that there is a winner. There is a mayor of the Affiliate Summit, and round of applause for Daniel M. Clark, who takes home a Yankee ticket for tonight, and more importantly, the mayor of Affiliate Summit. I mean, what an important badge that is. So thanks very much for everyone for playing along. Affiliate Summit West is at Caesars Palace this year. Registration is open, so don't wait. Go back to your office, go home, hotel room, register now, get your early bird pricing. It's January 8 to 10 in Las Vegas at Caesars Palace, and it's going to be another great show. The feedback is really important. I mentioned this yesterday, and it's extremely, extremely important. The reason this show, well, one of the reasons this show is so good is because the speakers get better and better and better because of the feedback that you give at the end of every session. When you walk into a session, they're going to hand you a little piece of paper. Seriously, you take 1 minute, 30 seconds, fill it out and say if you liked them or you didn't like them. It really helps the show get better and better. Oh yeah, and 10 people every day, yesterday and today, are going to be chosen to win a pass to go to Vegas. So randomly, so fill it out, put your name on it, and you may be contacted after the show for a free pass to Affiliate Summit West. I think it's a pretty good deal. The Affiliate Summit Forum is available for everybody. Just go to forum.affiliatesummit.com. It's totally free to join. Continue the discussions, meet new people, build more relationships from all the people that you've had from the show, and keep it going after the show. At the end of every session, the speakers or the moderators should be pulling up the slide where people can ask questions via text message or a tweet or an online forum. It's a really neat way to ask questions, maybe if you're shy and you don't want to get up and get in front of the microphone, or maybe you want to ask a question that you don't want people to know was you. So go ahead and use that form. I used it a couple times in sessions yesterday, and I thought it was really cool, and it worked great. 3,943 attendees here for Affiliate Summit. Yeah, I mean, come on. The largest East show to date, which I think is pretty darn impressive, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and better and better. So I'm going to bring up Bryan now, and I'll give you his official semi-bio. Bryan Eisenberg is the co-author of the Wall Street Journal, Business Week, USA Today, and New York Times best-selling books Call to Action, Waiting for Your Cat to Bark, and Always Be Testing. Bryan is recognized authority and pioneer in online marketing, improving online conversion rates, persuasion architecture, and persona marketing. He was recently recognized by E-consultancy members as one of the top 10 user experience gurus, and he was selected as one of the inaugural iMedia Top 25 marketers. In 1998, Bryan co-founded Future Now, Inc., which is probably where most of you have seen him come from. The company has been helping businesses generate more engagements, leads, subscriptions, sales. With its unique framework, he helped develop persuasion architecture, and he's written multiple books. Now, the unofficial bio is, this guy knows what he's talking about. When people call me up and they say, Jim, we need a conversion expert, you have that list of all the people who are really good at things, and it's always the top where I go, and I say, you got to talk to this guy. So let's bring him up here because he's going to talk about some great conversion strategies that'll help us all out. So please welcome Bryan Eisenberg.
Hey, 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 macho, macho, macho man. I got to be a macho man. I got to be a macho, macho man. I got to be a macho, macho, macho man. Yeah, I
timing, it's kind of like a pit stop in, you know, in the Indy 500, seeing how long you can take to switch computers, get the presentation going. Come on, everyone's watching. No pressure. Just got to hit play now. I think then we're good. So I want to thank everybody for coming out this morning, because obviously a lot of you didn't make it past last night. How many of you made it here even though you just knew you didn't have the energy to make it, but you made it anyway? Raise your hand. Come on, somebody. Okay, so we're gonna set you up. There you go. There's your first 5-hour energy for the day. You'll be going well. Those are great. And no, I have not taken one. This is just my normal self. Actually, no, I'm a little bit ill, but this is still my normal self. So we got a lot of slides to go through this morning. 21 secrets of top converting websites. Jim did a great job kind of giving you my formal background. Written a bunch of best-selling books. I've been writing for ClickEquations for almost 11 years now, the ROI marketing column. I'm also the faculty chair at Market Motive for conversion optimization and landing page optimization. I'm also the founder and chairman emeritus of the Web Analytics Association. I'm also on the board of trustees of the Direct Marketing Educational Foundation. I have 3 kids, and I blog at Bryan Eisenberg. We're going to keep myself busy here and there once in a while. A lot of people don't recognize me for one reason. You may have seen old pictures of me where I was 100 pounds heavier. So that's the other thing I do when I don't have enough time to do stuff. Nah, that's no big deal. But it'll fit when I work on my next book. I told people what the title is. And one of the lessons I learned about getting things done is if you tell enough people that you're going to do it, you're going to get it done. So just quick thing. I want a thumbs up, thumbs down if you like the title. It's called Bloat. Business Lessons from a Reformed Fat Man. Okay, Bloat. Okay. We're in New York. You're my hometown. And I'm going to tell it to you the way New Yorkers would tell you. Your website sucks. Your website sucks. Your website sucks. My website sucks. Every website sucks. And here we are, almost 15 years into this web thing, and every website still sucks. Now, think about it. In 1998, when my brother and I first started doing conversion optimization as a business, and I've been doing it client-side since 1995, Shop.org published their first public benchmark of conversion rates. Does anyone know what it was in 1998? Anyone want to take a guess? Come on, you've been around long enough. You know. Do you remember? Average conversion rate in 1998. I have no idea. 1.8%. Now, here we are 15 years later, right, roughly. Now, are websites today better designed than they were 15 years ago? Yeah, mostly. Do we have better technology? More people are comfortable being online. We have more bandwidth. Everybody's got analytics. Everybody's now, you can have free testing tools. You can have a gazillion tools to improve your website. But yet, average conversion rates still hover in that 2 to 3% range. So why is it? Why is it that there are some sites that do phenomenally well and others that do really, really poorly? And so, like I said, for about 15 years, I've been helping sites improve their conversion rates. And this presentation has literally taken almost 15 years to put together. I'm going to distill down to you 21 secrets that I found that all the top converting websites are doing one way or another. And hopefully, either whether you're managing your own website or you're an affiliate looking at some websites, you can kind of tell which ones are really going to do the right job or not based on some of these secrets. Now, when I tell people, why should you be settling for a 3% conversion rate? All you have to do is look at some of the top performing websites out there and realize their conversion rates are nothing like the average. Okay? This is average conversion rates for the last 6 months of last year. I've not been able to get updated numbers, unfortunately. But just to put it in perspective, and by the way, a number of these we've worked with through the years. Proflowers.com, 26.5%. I'm going to talk a lot about VitaCost today. They're one of the most interesting ones because they're a public company. And in their public statements, they always talk about their conversion rate. Now, this is Nielsen numbers, so they're never exactly accurate. But VitaCost always talks about the conversion rate being over 15% in their public statement. So we know they're well up there. Land's End has always been one of my favorites. Office Depot, Dr. Foster Smith, QVC. They're one of the most interesting ones right now. QVC, I think, is going to blow away where their average conversion rate is right now. In fact, I happen to know they are doing quite a bit of things around this. So what are they doing differently than everyone else is? Well, I'm going to share with you those secrets, but I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. While I'm going to give away the secrets, keep them to yourself. You can tweet what they are, but don't give away the examples because you don't want people to rip them off if you're going to use them yourself. Fair enough? Cool. So let's get started. Number one, they communicate what I call UVPs and UCPs. So marketing 101, unique value propositions. Why should I do business with you? Think about this. Last time you went ahead, you did a search. Maybe you went ahead, you opened up one tab of one result, one tab from another result, and one tab from another result. And how much time do you spend on each page until you figure out which one you're going to buy from? 5 seconds? 8 seconds? Right? First look, and you get a sense. And so one of the things that all these top converting sites are doing is right away at the very beginning of the page, you can't miss it, right? It's like kicking you in the you-know-where, okay? They tell you what their unique value proposition is, okay? And I'll get to what UCP is in a minute. So if you look at VitaCost, for example, it says over 10 million orders shipped since 1994, one price shipping, $4.99, money back guarantee. Simple. Here's LL Bean. Guaranteed you have our word for it. Now, here is their UCP, what I call their unique campaign proposition. You see that little line that says free $10 gift with purchase of $25 or more? Okay, they have it right there. GoToMeeting, right? This works in B2C, works in B2B. GoToMeeting, try it free for 30 days. Online meetings made easy. So they have a little bit of both. Here's another one, Hellsberg Diamond, trusted diamond jeweler since 1915. Again, and you can see this over and over again. And not only do they have it on their homepage, but they have it on every single one of their landing pages. Now, quick survey. How many of you have your unique value proposition or unique campaign propositions on every single page of your website? Notice why most people don't have super high conversion rates. Only a handful of hands up. So that's secret number one. Number two, they make persuasive and relevant offers. So Overstock.com was a client of ours several years ago, so I don't feel too bad sharing this little story with you. So we're talking to Patrick Byrne, the CEO, and he's telling us, hey, you know what? How many people here have ordered from Overstock before, by the way? Just quick hands. What's the cost of shipping on Overstock normally? $2.95. $2.95. Now, if they want to get a bump in conversion rate by about 30%, they'll drop it down to about $1.95. Okay? And if they want to double their conversion rate, they make it what? Free shipping. Now, think about this. For less than the cup of a latte at Starbucks, people will buy twice as much. Huh? Think about the psychology behind this, right? Now, what's interesting is if you take a look at this website, right, and you look at their homepage, look how much room they're giving to this offer of free shipping. Now, there's only one problem with this page. Can anyone see what the big problem is with this page? Now, they have the big free shipping coupon in the middle. They have it up on the upper right-hand side. What's the biggest problem that they have here? It's in the fine print. What does the fine print say? On your first order. And it wasn't my first order. So, oops. Now, I'm a New Yorker. How do you think I feel when they're telling me it's free shipping for everyone else and not for me? We're in New York. You can say it. How do you feel?
Like crap.
Like crap. I feel pissed. Okay? So definitely not a good offer. But they do something still right regardless. Notice how they keep reinforcing the offer site-wide. So here they are on the category page. They're showing it. You go into their shopping cart. They're showing that it's free shipping. They're repeating this offer over and over again. Okay? They want to make sure you don't miss it. However, they make the biggest mistake you can ever make when you're doing this. All of a sudden, you get into their checkout, and the offer disappears. Has anybody here ever watched a usability study? I know Bobby has, a couple of other people have. It's the most amazing thing about people online. They go literally from page to page, and they forgot what they saw on the page beforehand. So what do you think happened when people got to this page and all of a sudden didn't see the offer for free shipping? They're like, did I have to do something? Did I qualify? Did I make a mistake? And they freak out. And their confidence erodes, and guess what happens to the shopping cart? It gets abandoned. Okay? So secret number 3 is they reinforce this offer site-wide. So not only do you have it on your landing page, like this one, which is a special late-night offer, save 10% off, okay, on Taffords for one of their product pages, you get into their cart, you get into their checkout, and again, you can see it over and over and over again. Okay, so you've got to reinforce this site-wide. It's really, really, really critical. Okay, even in emails. Okay, this is an example that Monte did for casual mail, where if people clicked on the coupon from the email, they saw the 28% off. If they didn't have the coupon, they didn't get it. Okay, so they were able to custom tailor it. And then when they went to checkout, again, you were able to see that 20% off as a reinforcement. Okay, now this just fits with a very common theme that's been known about how people navigate online since 1995. It was Dr. Ed Chi from Xerox PARC who talked about how people are information foraging animals. They track keywords, trigger words, what they're after, much like bloodhounds do in the forest. Okay? They're on information foraging scent. And so here I'm going to give you a very visual example. This is a banner we found for Victoria's Secrets, and here's the landing page. Now notice about the two things. Obviously, the logos are identical. Notice the imagery. Even though it's not identical, it's very similar, right, to actually catch a little bit more attention to you. Then they have a couple of different offers here. They have a free second-day delivery, right, and a free second-day delivery on the landing page. And they have, now here's the one that got me confused, and I am definitely not a fashion guru, but on the banner it says just $20 boucle gift set, and on the landing page it says what, Kim? What does it say? Is that the same thing? No, it's not. So it feels kind of like a bait and switch. Now, they do this, by the way, by talent, not by process. And I'm teaching you this so you can never make this mistake. The other interesting thing about this one is notice that the free second day on the banner is in black, red, and white, and on the landing page it's in pink. Okay, watch, because I'm going to show you another example where they get it right. And here, of course, as you click through, you can see them reinforcing the sent from page to page. Here's another example. Here's the banner. Here's the landing page. Notice similar imagery, the same logo, the same very sexy offer, and the free second day, both in pink and white, pink and white. Is this a much better page than the first one? Right? You don't have to be a genius to figure out they're interrelated. It's these subtle clues that make people feel connected from an ad to a landing page. Okay, and then of course, as you click through, you keep seeing this. Okay, so what are some of the sent clues, cues that you can include when you're working? Well, the trigger words, right? Especially if you're doing paid search, this is critical. Okay, because people are definitely caught up with words. The offers you make in your ads, you want to make sure they're reinforced. The graphics you use, the color, the shape of the graphics even, and the location of the graphics. If you have particular buttons in the upper right-hand corner, don't start putting it into the lower left-hand corner. It's going to throw people off. People expect and they get trained to do things on site to site, so don't confuse them. Now, here's a great little viral example. Okay, everybody loves doing these promotional videos, and Zafu.com is one of those that wanted to get into the craze. And they emailed this letter to people who had tried their site before. And has anyone here ever tried Zafu.com before? Nobody? Okay. So Zafu's kind of interesting. What they do is, and women, I think you'll appreciate this because it's a site for women. What they do is they ask you a whole bunch of questions about your measurements, and then they help you figure out which is the exact brand of jeans that fit for you, and they bring you a whole bunch of results from a bunch of different retailers. So after they finished with the jeans, and they were doing that quite successfully, they decided to go into the bra business because it's obviously the same type of questions as jeans are with bras. I know, men, you're having a hard time relating now, but trust me, you'll enjoy the video anyway. So they went ahead and they sent out this email, and they told people, watch the video, they're getting to this business. Now, I'm going to show you the video, and now, just from what you understand about scent, when I show you what happens after people watch the video, I want you to tell me if you think they left money on the table. Fair enough? Let's watch this video.
If I could just get a quick moment of your time, I'd like to tell you about a new service we're offering. All you have to do is tell me a few things about your breasts, and I can find you the perfect bra.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. All right, let's get started.
Yeah.
Excuse me, have I told you about our new website? Hello?
Okay, so what do you think a whole bunch of people did after they saw this video? Where'd they go? They went to the homepage of Zafu.com. Okay, so how many people think they left money on the table? Raise your hand. Now, if you were Zafu.com in charge of their marketing, what would you have done on this homepage? Throw the bra on there, throw the dude on there, throw the video on there, anything. But they left their static homepage. Oops. Okay? Let's look at an example done really, really well. So this is one of my favorite videos of all time. This was actually, a lot of it was shot here in New York. Actually, some of you who've been wandering the streets and may have gone into a couple of the local bodegas probably recognize the guy in this video in a moment. But what these guys did is they used this hidden camera, and they went going from store to store buying things with nothing but pennies. Did anyone ever see any of these penny prank videos? There's a whole YouTube channel on these penny prank videos. They bought cars, I mean, collectible coins, all kinds of really weird things. But this one, first of all, makes me feel at home, and you'll understand why. But it's just absolutely classic. And then I want to show you what happens the whole time they were running this, because they ran 30, 40 videos, well over a month long on YouTube, figured out which was the most successful. And then when they figured out which one was the one that people watched the longest, passed it along, then they finally decided to run it on TV. Okay? So that whole time they were doing the right thing on the homepage. Now watch this.
I'm going to be paying for things today with nothing but pennies.
750. We don't take pennies.
Wait, you serious?
Oh yeah, I'm serious. You think this is money?
You don't think that's money?
No. Just don't put it here, please.
Is it my pennies that you hate so much, or just the penny in general?
Take your money. I want to throw it in the garbage.
You're going to throw my money in the garbage?
So take it. We don't sell anything. I
am online. This is perfectly good money.
My friend, we're close.
Why don't you want my money?
You are dumb.
Am I dumb?
You are dumb and stupid.
Nobody here has ever experienced that here in New York, right? Now, I don't know if you noticed, of course, they had the vanity URL at the end of the video. It's at officemax.com/penny. How many people ever go to those URLs? None. So what happened the whole time while they were running this experiment, they were doing it over and over again, what did their homepage look like? There's the power to the penny. They just left it there in the corner, very happy. And all that time, this interrelationship between all their marketing and what was on the website made sense, okay? And that's critical to become successful. And it's not easy to do. Because most companies still are focused only on one page. Or maybe they started worrying about their landing pages. But the experience of a website visit is not just about a landing page. It's not just about your homepage. How many of you are still having battles about what's on your homepage? I'm sorry. Really, I am. It goes way past that. And a classic example of this is this one for Geico. So here was the banner ad. Here was the landing page. Do these have good scent? Right? Notice what the form tells you to do. Just fill in your zip code, mate. Geico makes it easy. So you go ahead, you put in your zip code, and then they take you to this page next. Does anyone see a small problem here? Doesn't look easy, right? Where's the Geico? Instead, I just have this generic stock photo chick. Really doesn't work for me. Okay? They don't give me anything related to, hey, just put in my zip code. You can give me information about other people who save money in my zip code. They could do so much to personalize this experience. But why didn't that happen? Well, very simple. Who owns the banner and the landing page? Marketing. And who owns this? No, it's called BPUs. It's called Business Prevention Units. Right. In some companies, they're called IT. Okay? But yeah, this is a completely disconnected experience. If you can't control the whole experience, you're just costing yourself money. Okay? In fact, I sit on the board of advisors of a test targeting personalization platform, Monetate, and they've been testing this message consistency across all their clients for the past couple of years. And what they found is average conversion improvements of somewhere between 5 and 20% per campaign, and as high as 100% just by even adding a little banner that reinforces the ad site-wide. That's it. How many of you want to leave 5 to 20% of your revenue on the table? Just don't do this. It's that simple. Okay, here's an affiliate example, right? Take a look at this one from eBates. They have the link there, the 6% cash back. All of a sudden, you click through to the website. This is a local fresh pair, folks. Here you see the banner reinforcing the 6%, right? As you click through the website, there you see it again. And as you go through the checkout, you see it again and again. Again, this is what makes conversion extremely powerful. It's the little things, right? People don't make drastic differences between most websites. It's the little things that make a lot of revenue for people who know what they're doing. Number 5, they understand the customer buying process. I've loved Land's End. I mean, I'm a huge fan. I've never directly worked with them, had a lot of friends who've worked there. I remember very early on when we first started our newsletter in the early 2000s, you know, when I was hand coding, mailing out the emails in my own mailer, many of the names were from Land's End. And so I said, okay, this is a group that definitely understands what's going on. And they really push the envelope. They really try to go farther than everyone else instead of the standard, you know, we've got a product page, we've got a category page. They just understand that it has to go beyond that. And so one of my favorite examples of this is them selling bathing suits. And again, just like Zafu figured out with bras and with jeans, selling bathing suits online is a pretty difficult thing. right? I mean, you've probably experienced this before. No, anyway. If you go ahead and you look at their website and you look at how they divide their categories, you'll notice that they've got a bunch of additional categories beyond the color and the size and stuff like that, or even the style. What they've done, and it's one of my favorite examples here, is the body shape one. Okay? Now, most of us have probably heard of the rectangle shape, the triangle shape, the inverted triangle. I've never heard of the circle, and I've definitely never heard of star. And I am not necessarily the smartest, woman's man, but star body shape. Do you know what a star body shape is? Yeah, I didn't either. So what's interesting is I figured, okay, well, let's see if they're really this good. When you go actually to their help section, they actually tell you in context what that is. And so let me read to you the star one. I love this one. Star, flatters all figures, especially hourglass. Strategy, do not draw attention to any one area. Do, shop with confidence. These styles will suit you. Don't worry, it's guaranteed, period. Okay? What's interesting about them, everything they do within their bathing suit area, if you click help and you click, let's say, live chat in the bathing suit area, you're going to speak to a bathing suit specialist. When you call someone from the 800 number in the bathing suit area, you're going to speak to a bathing suit specialist because they understand there's different questions, there are different needs than anything else. They keep going. So here is anxiety zones. Okay, ladies, tell me if these are related to you, because I mean, I've definitely had a few problems with some of these, but not all of them. Minimize tummy waist, enhance bust, minimize hips, thighs, lengthen legs, enhance waist, and minimize bust. By the way, there are only 4 models for that one. Interesting. Number 6, they appeal to multiple persona segments. Just like people understand that different people have different challenges buying things, and they make different ways to make buying decisions, you have to understand that the way we approach information online is very different. Some of us may be much more methodical in the way we approach things. We want to know every single detail. We want to become the expert before we make any purchase. Other of us rely on our friends to become experts and say, okay, well, who should we be talking to about this? Okay? And so there are different styles to this. One of the greatest companies to really ever figure this out in terms of everything they do, from their blogging strategy to how they work on their homepage, happens to be Mint.com. And I think everybody should spend some time just studying what they've done to appeal to the different types of people who come to their website. They've made finance so much simpler for so many people, and it's one of the reasons why Intuit bought them for gobs and gobs of cash. Okay? What they realized since the beginning of time, that Hippocrates I've talked about, and Jung and Aristotle, Myers-Briggs, is that different people have different personality styles. We're basically broken into left brain, right? More logical, more emotional side. And there are some of us who make quick decisions and others who make more deliberate decisions. And we can call these a competitive, spontaneous, methodical, and humanistic. Why is this so important online? Because again, the way we operate, right, this is kind of like our operating system, the way we operate influences the way we gather information online. So Jakob Nielsen did an eye tracking study on the US Census Bureau website. And when he went ahead and he took a look at all the results from all the eye tracking gaze maps, he realized that there were 4 distinct patterns. Now, he wasn't looking for personality types. Okay? But when you look at this from the lens of understanding personality types, can anyone here tell me which one is the slow, deliberate, methodical person? B. Now, you don't have a PhD in psychology, do you? No. But how could you tell that that was the methodical? Yeah. There's big, long gazes on everything, every little detail, every little piece of navigation. What about the competitive? Anyone can tell which one's the very logical, quick decision maker? This one's tricky. It's A, actually. Okay? C is the spontaneous. A, they come right at the very top of the page. Either it's relevant to them, maybe they'll scan a little bit more, but if not, they're gone. That's it. The first few seconds. Secret number 1 is made for these folks. Okay? And of course, D is the more humanistic style. Now, what's interesting is, when you go ahead and you can start building these out as personas, you can start seeing what kind of an impact you can have. And I'm going to show you an example of how you can apply this to improve your website as well. So number 7, one of the things I see a lot of companies do, and I've been talking about multivariate testing, one of the books I wrote is Always Be Testing, is that it's important to do testing online. And ever since the first companies that started offering testing tools out there, they said you can test millions of permutations. And my always question was, well, why would you want to? Right? Anybody here have unlimited resources? They have so many graphic artists, so many copywriters that they can perform tests endlessly? Does anybody know any company that fits into that category? No. And what most companies do when they get into testing is they do slice and dice testing. That's the wrong approach. Literally, you take every little piece of the page and you shuffle it around and you come up with different variations and you hope that something is going to work better. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. Not a good approach. So when Overstock.com actually approached us, we said, this was one of their pages that had the biggest problems. It was their movie category page. 91.8% of the people who landed on this page bounced off of it immediately. Now think about it. There's not a movie on here for more than 25 bucks. What would make 92% of the people leave right away? Didn't make any sense. And we're like, okay, well, we need to understand what the overstock traffic is, how people behaved. Now, the typical approach of most of the multivariate vendors out there and the consultants out there would tell you, okay, well, let's take the page, let's slice and dice each section of it. And what we're going to do is we're going to move things from top to bottom, left to right. We're going to come up with some variations on this messaging. We're going to come up with that, and we're going to move this. And eventually, we're going to get a better result. I'm going to show you the easy way to do this, and it literally took one change of a graphic. So we look at the page, look at it close up, and as you can see here, spontaneous people, what they care about is new releases, the stuff that's coming soon. Those are the things that are important to them. Now, if you look at the page very closely, does the page do a good job for spontaneous people? Yeah. It talks about Lord of the Rings was at the time. They have their top 10, their featured picks, the new releases. They did everything to appeal to spontaneous people, which is a good category if you're dealing with people on Overstock.com. Check. We don't have to do anything for them. Humanistics. They care about reviews. Now, Overstock has hundreds of thousands of reviews on their website. But unfortunately, they didn't have anything that showed ratings or reviews on this page. Now, the problem here was to get reviews on this page would have involved bringing in IT. And we're like, yeah, we'll get to it, but let's not rush it. And besides, they'll take their time. They're a little slower decision makers. We can manage. If it's on the product page, they may still get to it before they make a decision. Methodicals, they like to search by genre. Now, right, because they're very detail-oriented. There is a way, and there is a link here to search by genre. Can anybody actually see it? You, back there. Can you see it? Not a chance. Right underneath the search box at the very, very top, see those two little links? Yeah, methodical person, as they're looking through everything, will eventually find that one, okay? But it was the competitives that I was most interested in. Why? Because they're the ones who are quick in, quick out. And they look towards the what? What part of the page? Top of the page. So what's at the top of the page? There's a big banner up there. What does the big banner say? Kids titles for learning and fun, stuck right next to the search engine. So Sean, what do you think people who were competitive thought they were searching for? Kids titles. I guess only about 8% of people cared about the kids titles. And the rest of everybody bounced away. So we told Patrick Byrne that evening, said, look, all you got to do is change that one graphic. Give me a competitive message up there. And they changed it to search from over 24,000 DVD and VHS movies. And that one image was worth over $25 million. 5% revenue on a $480 million company. Literally overnight to start happening. How many of you want a $25 million image? Yeah, I don't know if I could find them that easily, but that's all it is. It's just understanding how people want to buy and giving it to them. It's not really that complicated. Okay. Amazon is the poster child for understanding this. Amazon, at any given time, is running over 200 different tests on their website. There's nobody who even comes close to them. The reason they dominate e-commerce with about 30% of all e-commerce transactions in the United States is because they understand this as one of the most critical issues. And they did this from very early on. So when they wanted to redo how their product descriptions laid out, they didn't go ahead and say, okay, well, here's the variation. Let's come up with 15 different colors for the headline, right, for the product name. Let's come up with 12 different ways to show in stock in different colors and different sizes. And let's show a whole bunch of different ways to show the price, larger, smaller, to the left, to the right, top, bottom. They didn't do that. All they said is, look, one's easier to scan and read versus the other. Correct? Okay? And as soon as they can find out which one is the winner, then they went to the brand police, and the brand police said, well, you know what? Yeah, we like the new version, but you know what? I really don't like that orange headline. Can we change it back to black? What's the impact? Boom. That's it. They're done. They're not going to waste tons of cycle, even though they have more traffic than God. Okay? They can test everything over and over again. They don't wait that long. That's not the way to do testing. Now, Amazon also, and this is secret number 8, was the first to leverage social commerce. Right? What made Amazon so successful, besides being incredibly lazy when they first started? Here they were going to offer 1 million titles, right? Nobody ever had 1 million books in their bookstore. They were lucky to have 100,000 books in a bookstore if you were lucky, but they were going to have 1 million titles. And there was no way they can write product descriptions for all of them. So what did they do? They said, well, you know, we're going to offer reviews. And for years and years and years, nobody offered reviews other than Amazon. Now, how many of you, before you buy anything, what's the first thing you do? You go to Amazon and you read their reviews. Now, what's interesting is, and how powerful reviews are, especially for Amazon, is take a look at this product. And I love this product because it really shows the power of their community. This is for something everybody should know. It's called Tuscan Whole Milk, 1 gallon, 128 fluid ounces. Now, what's most interesting about this product is that Amazon does not sell it. Does anyone notice that? You can't actually buy it directly from Amazon. But my favorite part about this is that somehow or another, this one has received 1,134 customer reviews. And their reviews are pretty amazing. They're really well thought out. Like this one. This is one of my favorites. This one's written in the form of a poem. It says, "Make this your only stock in store." I'll read it to you. "Once upon a midday sunny, while I savored nuts and honey, with my Tuscan Whole Milk 1 gallon, 128 fluid ounces, I swore, as I went on with my lapping, suddenly there came a tapping, as if someone gently rapping at the icebox door. Bad condenser that, I muttered, vibrating the icebox door, only this and nothing more." Now, this goes on and on for paragraphs and paragraphs. Now, what's most interesting about this review is that 1,844 of 1,871 people thought this was useful. Still, this is not my favorite. I think you're going to appreciate this one. This one was written in the form of a romance novel. "One Friday without the milk. He always brought home the milk on Friday. After a long, hard week full of days, he would burst through the door, his fatigue hidden behind a smile. There was an icy jug of Tuscan Whole Milk, 1 gallon, 120 fluid ounces in his right hand. With his left hand, he would grip my waist. I was always cooking dinner and press the cold frostiness of the jug against my arm as he kissed my cheek. I would jump, mostly to gratify him after a time, and smile lovingly at him. He was a good man, a wonderful husband, always brought the milk on Friday. Tuscan Whole Milk, 1 gallon, 128 fluid ounces. 2,216 out of 2,261 people found this review useful. The numbers have actually gone up. But I'm going to show you my favorite review of all of these, which is this one. It's called Serious Problem. This product copiously leaks out of my nose whenever I read these reviews. Okay, so obviously it's not just having reviews, but it's what they do with it, how they engage it. And by the way, adding "was this review helpful" accounted for over $1 billion for Amazon. Because it allowed people to sort through which of the reviews really had a good impact versus just loading them chronologically. Okay? So huge impact, asking subtle questions, okay? Little details. Okay? Now, number 9. When companies really get starting to use reviews, they understand that they can use it for lots of different things. They can use it for navigation. So create categories of favorite products. In their sorts, on their category pages, they should offer to sort it by reviews. Again, featuring it as part of their promos. In their search results pages, they should be allowing you to sort and show the ratings so people can filter out which ones they want and which ones they don't. Now, what's interesting is when people actually do this, it has some impact on people who are the direct searchers who know exactly what they're looking for when you come to the website. But for the people who are browsing, they're just getting there trying to figure out what's really good, what's really not. It can increase conversion rates over 176%. Okay, so huge impact. Number 10, they use it for promotions. Because if you liked it, and she liked it, and he liked it, very good chance that I might like it, especially in our world of social connectedness, we can start using it for promotions. So here you see delightful deliveries, even on their upsells, they're kind of showing where the ratings are. Here's another example of showing it in the hero shot, showing top-rated products. Using it in emails, right? It'll increase click-through rates and conversions, right? Huge chance to go ahead and leverage the voice of the customer. Okay? By the way, they use this internationally as well. A lot of people thought it was very US-centric. Internationally, this is growing even bigger and bigger. People didn't care about reviews as much over the last few years. Now, what's interesting is when I first started writing about conversion in about 1999 or so, I started really publishing my newsletter. For years and years, we tested adding reviews to websites. Had almost zero impact on conversion. Zero impact. But about 5-6 years ago, just as social media started to rise, having reviews became critical. Because if you didn't have them, they had no impact. It's the only thing, for sure, that has had an impact and change in conversion rates over the last 15 years. Number 11, they use reviews to build credibility. So here we were consulting to this group called the Brooks Group. And literally, they had a wall in their office that went from the back over there all the way to the front with all of these letters raving about how great their training products were. And so he said, well, hey, you know what? Could we go ahead and scan all these letters and put them on the website so people actually see them? And what we did is we used these pull quotes so that people didn't have to read the whole letter. Instantly doubled conversion rate, okay? Other little things that people have done, leveraging the voice of the customer to add credibility to the website. This one comes from a shoe retailer. You know, oftentimes you buy shoes online, you're not sure whether it's going to fit right or not. They included a returnometer. So stuff that was high in the returnometer, you're probably less likely to buy. Stuff that scored well, people more likely to buy, okay? So just adding that voice of customer and that transparency increased conversion rate. Number 12, they use the customers for feedback and research. Now, how many of you are running regular usability tests? 2. Yeah, that's good. Now I know why I'm here. Usability tests used to be pretty expensive, right? You'd have to get a lab, you'd have to recruit people, you needed moderators to go through all the video. I mean, it was really expensive. It was in the tens of thousands of dollars. Over the last few years, there's been a whole bunch of software choices out there, like Moray from Camtasia and TechSmith folks. And again, that was an alternative. You can bring your laptop and you can start capturing that video. But I'll tell you, today there really is no excuse. For $29 a user, you can go ahead, or for about $100, you can get a bunch of users to go ahead and look on your website. They'll record the video, they'll record themselves talking, they'll talk out loud about their whole experience. And just by using usertesting.com, you can go ahead and you can learn more about what's going on your website. They even have a product that's specifically geared for people trying to improve their pay-per-click stuff. You can go to usertesting.com/PPC test and look at your site and your competitor's site and help you judge why they're doing better or not than you are. By the way, there are tons of these tools that are low cost or free that you can use to improve your website. This is just a list of a couple of them. I'm about to blog and update the list, but if you just do a quick Google search for 99 free tools, you'll find my list of 99 favorite tools from last year, okay? Now, usability is important, and it's something I've talked about for years and years and years, but it's just not the end all of everything. Usability is kind of like having dial tone and just know how to do things. Now, Jim, where are you? This one I think you might relate to. Yeah, because usability is kind of cool, but it's like if usability engineers built a bar, a nightclub, it would be clean, quiet, brightly lit with lots of places to sit down, plenty of bartenders, menus written in 18-point sans serif and easy to find bathrooms. But nobody would be there. They would all be down the street at Coyote Ugly pouring beer on each other. Can you relate to this? Maybe after last night a little bit? Yeah. Usability only helps you know what you need to do. It doesn't give you motivation of why you'd want to do it, right? It doesn't bring the fun to the party. And so you have to do that. You have to use persuasion techniques. And that's what a lot of these top sites do. How many people here have read Robert Cialdini's book? Wow. There are more people who have read his book here than in any other audience I've ever been to. That's telling me something. So one of my favorite examples of using persuasion principles like scarcity is this one from eBags. They have the steal of the day feature. And notice, you know, they have the price. It says remaining quantity 15. But my favorite part of it is it says, hurry, there are 653 people shopping now, right? That's scarcity. Or the airlines have been doing this, right? United has been doing this. Only 2 tickets left at this price. Or last day to purchase is fair. I know Travelocity's been experimenting with this as well lately. These are all kinds of things that let people know, oh, you know what? Yeah, I've got to hurry if I want to make a decision. Lagniappe is one, reciprocation, right? Is one of those other principles. How many people here are New Yorkers? Okay, any of you use Fresh Direct? Okay. If you haven't before, but one of the things that they've often done is they'll start offering you fresh, free produce with every single one of your offers. Now, if they give you something for free, what's the likelihood that you're going to order from them again? Very good. Okay. By the way, great example. This someone else is doing this. Anybody here ever order from Smashbox, the cosmetics company? Right. You go there every single time you're in their checkout. They'll send you free samples. Like it's going to cost them anything extra, really. It doesn't cost anything once you've got the box open. Okay? But it gives people a sense that they've got to do business with you because you're going over the top for them. Okay? Here's another great example from my buddies from Jigsaw Health. Great vitamins, by the way. Take them every single day if you wonder why I talk so fast. Anyway, you can blame it on Jigsaw. But you get to the thank you page, which is the most underutilized page on all websites. And notice here, for returning customers only, Brian, for only $39.97, would you like to add another box of Jigsaw Complete to your order? We can easily group this with your first order if you click yes within the next 10 minutes. And literally, you see the clock counting down. And all you got to do is press that one little button, and the extra box is added to it. Simple. Okay? Using authority. How many of you illustrate a whole bunch of different products? Maybe products that people don't really know how to buy. And so a couple of years ago, we were buying headsets for our office. And are you a headset expert? Anybody here a headset expert? I'm not. And so I went to their page and they said, good, better, best. So what does that tell you? That's a value equation between price and quality, right? Which is a way a lot of people like to buy. And just by illustrating it with the little bullet points about what features they had, I was able to make a quick decision. Now, if you take this and you add reviews on top of it, it's killer, okay? So leverage this. People count on you to be the expert. That's why they're in search. That's why they're looking for other people to be talking about this stuff. They focus on making things more persuasive, and this is what ProFlowers is brilliant at. Anybody here ever receive flowers from proflowers.com? Okay, how do they come? Do they come looking like that? They come in a box. You have to put it in the vase. You have to make it all pretty. Unless you have a degree in floral engineering, it's not going to look that nice. They'll look nice. They're great flowers. Don't get me wrong. But they're great at making things look more persuasive. In fact, as you click through and you look at all the different vase options, they take different pictures. And they take lots of different pictures because they want to make it more interesting for you. Okay? And they're making it, they're not lying, but they're making it a little bit more persuasive than it actually is. And that's what helps convert people. And you have to do the same thing on your forms. And this is what they've mastered in their checkout. They've got a beautiful checkout. And it's a complex checkout. But look how pretty it is. Everything from showing the picture of the product on the right-hand side there, to the satisfaction guaranteed underneath it, to the coloring, to how short it is. They make it attractive. If your web forms look like a DMV form, the likelihood that someone's going to fill it out is going to be very small. Okay, here's another great example from the guys from 37 Signals. This is Basecamp. Yes, it's a long form, but look how beautiful it is. Look at how they've chunked it up. The little supporting messages on the side, the thanks for using Basecamp, the little arrow with the 30-day free trial thing there. Right? All of these little subtle touches just make it over the top. And you've got to do the same things if you want people to fill out your forms. One of the best examples of this was Cafe Press. Now, I redesigned Cafe Press checkout, I think it was in 2002. If you go to their checkout now, almost nothing has changed since 2002. It still has around a 15% abandonment rate. Does anyone know what the average abandonment rate for shopping carts are today? It's around 70%. Theirs is 15%. Can I make a suggestion to everybody here? If you have a checkout process, rip it off. Please. It's been in all my books. There's reasons why they're doing this, and it's all kinds of little subtle clues to doing it. I'm not going to go through all of them. One of my biggest pet peeves online, don't you hate people making you fill out to start an account? Yeah, why do it? It's very easy to do. You want to do it on the thank you page, right? Just get rid of it. If your site is taking you to somebody that asking you to register before you buy, you're just telling your visitors, okay, we'll see you later. No need to do it. By the way, #1 biggest mistake since social media came out, most companies have forgot to focus in on capturing email addresses. Email acquisition is still critical today. Old direct marketing principle, the money's in the list. So Monotate's been working on improving email acquisition forms, and they've been increasing conversion rates just by using modal overlays and things like that, cleaning up the forms, and increasing sign-ups by over 1,000%. People are still looking in their inbox, so focus on it. Number 15, they provide what I call point-of-action assurances. The second you're ready to take an action, I want to make sure you feel comfortable taking that action. And this is what VitaCost really understands very well, and a lot of people have forgotten. So in their checkout, notice the little lock on the top. Okay? They're still using it. Why? First of all, how many of you navigate with either a mobile phone or with an iPad? Raise your hand. Have you noticed that mobile browsers don't tell you when you're in a secure environment? So today, this is actually even more important when you're dealing with those customers. That little lock still reminds people that they're in a secure environment. By the way, my favorite example of a little lock on a website, this one from Disney. The little mouse ears. Yeah, it's pretty well done. Okay? Still use it. Land's End, they've got this whole area here that tells you satisfaction guaranteed. They don't make you look for their return policy or their privacy policy or their credit card safety. They tell you it right there, plain and center. Okay? Here's another example from Snagit. When you want to capture an email address, anytime you want to capture an email address, look at this right by the email address. They tell you, hey, what's his name? Bill Hamilton, I'm the president. We will not share your email address with anyone, period. And they link to you to the privacy policy. By the way, you don't always have to link to the privacy policy. People just want to know that you care about their policy and their privacy. That's it. Number 16, they keep you in the process. Again, Land's End. You add something into your shopping cart. You don't have to work real hard to figure out what the next step is. This is what they do. What do they want you to do here? They want you to continue shopping. They make it so obvious. They blank out the rest of the page, and they make you focus on the one action. That's it. Here's another example of really poorly done. I'm on Sears looking for a new refrigerator. They talk about financing. They talk all this information. I look at these expensive refrigerators. Here's one for $2,400. I get to the page. Can anyone see where they talk about financing here? Yeah. There's a little link down there about the credit card, but that's not really what I was reading on their hero shot page beforehand. And then this whole information up here that nobody would ever read. And so they lose people when they're concerned, well, how am I going to finance this because I have to go searching. They miss it. So like my friends from ice.com figured out is, hey, you know what? We're going to show you the financing right up front. So every single product, right next to that product, they show you can pay, and we've all heard this on TV, pay in only 3 installments of, and it increases conversion rate. So whether you're looking at the product page or the category page or even in the shopping cart, they keep reminding you that you can finance this at any single time. So they're keeping you in the process. Here's another one. In checkout, what's one of the big concerns when I'm going to look at buying a product? When am I actually going to get this product? So right there in the checkout process, they spell out exactly when you're going to get the product, how long it's going to take. Now, if I were going to improve this, you know what I would do? Give you a way to change it right there. What if I want it faster? So they still have a little bit of improvement, but it's a good start. Number 17, I mentioned to you email is important. Well, email preview still is important. Okay? We have 0 time when we're going through our inbox, so you've got to show things quickly. Look at the difference between proflowers.com and Smart Bargains. Which email you're most likely to read? Right? You don't even need the images to look at the Proflowers one, and it has an impact on conversion. Number 18, they budget for experience. Since 1998, I've been telling people I've never focused on optimizing for search engines. I did a little bit of it. I kind of know what I'm doing there. I never focused on optimizing for anything that doesn't have a credit card. Right? It's people who have credit cards. And unfortunately, what most people do is they focus in on bringing lots and lots of traffic that are not qualified, that's not going to make a decision, and they don't do anything to help them make a decision. They don't use any of the tips I shared with you earlier. And so you really just need to spend your budget, not all on driving the traffic, but what are you going to do once the traffic gets there? Imagine if you had a great restaurant, great location, and you served lousy food and had lousy service. How long would you be in business? And that's what most people think about your websites. So you need to focus on improving it. In fact, $56.8 billion will be spent in driving traffic to most websites, but yet conversion rates are still only 2-3%. The reason being is people spend about $92 to $1 driving traffic versus focusing in on converting them. You need to correct that balance. You want to get more in alignment? Get like some of the top converting companies where they're about 20 to 1. Then you're probably more in alignment. Some of the reasons people don't convert so well is because they don't have a structured approach to improving their conversion rates. This is a study that just went out just a handful of months ago. And they asked people who are interested in conversion rates, do you have a structured approach to increasing conversion rate? 77% of them still don't, 15 years later. Okay? 48% believe they have no control over conversion. They're idiots. That's the technical term here in New York, by the way. Others just say they have limited time or resources. And I promise you, you're going to have less time and less resources if you don't focus on this. How many tests do you carry out in a typical month? Again, when they asked all these companies that were doing testing, most companies are testing 2 to 3 things a month. Okay? Companies that are hugely successful, like for example, some of the clients that are using Monetate today, are doing somewhere around 25, 30, 40 tests a month. Amazon, 200 tests a month. QVC, 70 to 80 tests a month. Is this kind of putting this in perspective for you? Right? If you're only doing 1 or 2 tests a month, you're not innovating fast enough to understand how things are changing in marketing. You need to be testing constantly. Most websites don't have traffic problems. Unless you're a brand new website and never seen a visitor, you don't have a traffic problem. But I can guarantee you, you do have a conversion problem. And this is what Jeff Bezos said in 2003 when he realized where the world was going marketing-wise. He said, we're going to take all of our advertising dollars and we're going to get rid of our television advertising. All we're going to focus on is improving the service. And they went ahead and they did all this testing. And they did this all, real-time efficiencies around their around their operations. They get products out faster than anyone else. They have more descriptions. They just do so much more than anyone else is doing. In fact, one of the other reasons they've become hugely, hugely successful is because they're constantly testing over and over and over and over and over again. This is just their little ready-to-buy area. I mean, I'm a screenshot-aholic. By the way, there is a Facebook group if you need to join. That's their first screenshot. That's probably about 1996, that first one all the way on the right, and this one's probably from a couple of years ago. And you can see they slowly evolve it over time. They used to have the lock back then, because back then people were afraid if they clicked the button, they'd blow up the world. Yeah. But you can see they've evolved this. And every few years, they come readdressing this. And when you're doing 200 tests, you can look at these things over and over again, right? And you can keep tweaking it. The secret is having a system for prioritization. And I was very lucky. One of my first clients was Dell.com. And I went ahead and did a whole analysis on their website and came up with a 70-page report of all the things that were wrong on their website. And I went to my friend Sam, who's in charge of their consumer website. I said, OK, well, what do I do next? I said, well, you fix it. He's like, how do I fix all of that? So he went ahead and he did basically the Dell way of prioritizing. He took every single issue that was there and broke it up based on the impact it might have to their conversion rate, how much time it would take to execute and to feel a result, okay, and the resources required to do it. And all they changed, for example, was the only test they ran before he left, was in their configurator, they went from learn more to help me choose. Now, that's accounted for tens and tens of millions of dollars over the course of almost a dozen years now, okay? But because they were able to focus in on what really mattered from a data point of view, right? How many of you are still making decisions based on what my good friend Avinash Kaushik calls the HIPPO, the highest paid person's opinion? Right? And not being focused in on the numbers. Oh, I know, we all have analytics. How many of you get analytics reports, you look at the data, and then the next thing you do is you hit delete? Come on, we all do it. The problem is we're all doing web analytics wrong. To do web analytics, it needs to generate a to-do list. What am I going to do? What do I need to improve more? What do I need to do less of? What campaigns are working? What campaigns are not working well enough? Right? And constantly make a list of this. What kind of things do I want to test? I've seen steal a day. That was cool. Can we do that? And literally, once you have this to-do list, you're going to go ahead and you're going to prioritize it. And that's going to help you execute much more efficiently, which is the 21st secret, and not my last secret. Probably the #1 reason Amazon dominates e-commerce, again, with almost 30% of all e-commerce sales, is because 2 hours after Michael Jackson died, they completely reconfigured their whole MP3 store. How many of you can call a meeting in 2 hours? Forget about change your whole store. That's powerful. That's why they're so successful. You need to start eliminating what I call the bloat, okay? And start acting in real time. Because your customers want it now. They don't want to wait for you to react 2 weeks from now. Guy Kawasaki said, execution is not an event, a one-time push towards achieving goals. Rather, it's a way of life. And you need to start adopting it. You need to start making those changes over and over again. So I'm going to give you a little bit of homework to take back. 5 steps that you can start doing so you can start improving your own business. So #1, identify all the different things, all the problems you have on your website. Whether you're doing pay-per-click and you want to look at your quality scores that suck. Whether you want to look at your analytics and find all the high exit pages and all the high bounce pages. Figure out where you have problems. Maybe your customer service has been complaining about stuff. Create your to-do list of all the things you want to improve. Document each one with a hypothesis. This is how I'm going to go improve this. Figure out what resources it's going to take, how much time it's going to take to feel the impact, okay? And what are those resources? Prioritize them, right? Again, based on time, resources, and impact. Multiply those numbers. So anything that scores 125, 555, knock off right away. And then just keep doing this over and over again. Start by doing it monthly. Get to the point where you could do it weekly. And by the time you're doing this daily, you're kicking butt. Guaranteed. And so on closing, I'd like to give a little gift for you. I know some of you tried to take notes during my presentation, and it is virtually impossible. So you can watch a webinar version of this presentation at that URL on the top and see it all over and over again and share it with your team and do all of that. So if you go to moam/21 secrets, you can see this whole presentation again. Thank you very much.